In the intricate dance of relationships, it's the unseen threads, habits, behaviors, and actions that can slowly unravel the very fabric of our connection with our significant other. It's these nuances, often overlooked or dismissed as trivial, that wield the power to either forge bonds stronger than steel or tear them apart with the slightest tug. Did you know that, according to Psychology Today, the average couple waits 6 years before seeking help for marital problems? By then, the patterns are deeply ingrained, and the emotional disconnect can be vast. Yet, in the early whispers of discontent, lies the opportunity for change. It's in these moments that recognizing and addressing the common behaviors threatening to undermine our relationships becomes paramount. So, as we turn the page, let's embark on this journey together. A journey of discovery, healing, and, ultimately, celebration. For in the end, it's about more than just avoiding the pitfalls, it's about crafting a love story that stands the test of time, enriched by the trials and triumphs that define our shared human experience. Chapter 1: Lack of Communication, the Silence That Suffocates. Imagine two people, sharing a life, yet worlds apart, enveloped in silence. This isn't a scene from a tragic movie, it's the reality of many relationships crippled by a lack of communication. The foundation of any strong relationship is built on open, honest conversations. It's not just about speaking, it's about listening, truly hearing what the other person has to say. Picture this: one partner comes home, burdened by the day, yet the other is too engrossed in their phone to notice. This scenario, played out day after day, builds a wall of silence. Research shows that couples who engage in regular, meaningful conversations are more likely to experience deeper connections and satisfaction in their relationships. It's about sharing the small details of your day, your hopes, fears, and everything in between. But here's a twist: communication isn't just verbal. It's in the gentle touch as you pass by, the eye contact that says "I'm here for you," and even in the comfortable silence shared between two people who understand each other deeply. Neglecting this vital aspect of your relationship is like setting sail without a compass. You might float along for a while, but eventually, you'll lose direction. To navigate the seas of love successfully, keep the lines of communication open. It's not always smooth sailing, but it's worth the effort. Chapter 2: Taking Each Other for Granted, the Slow Poison of Neglect. Now, let's talk about a silent killer of relationships: taking each other for granted. It's a slow poison, one that seeps in so gradually you might not notice until it's too late. When was the last time you genuinely appreciated your partner? Not just for the grand gestures, but for the everyday moments that truly matter. The morning coffee they prepare just the way you like it, the way they always know when you need a hug, or simply their presence, a constant in your ever-changing world. It's easy to fall into the routine of life, where these acts of love become expected, overlooked. But remember, appreciation is the currency of love. A simple thank you can light up your partner's entire day. It acknowledges their effort and shows them they matter. Interestingly, studies have found that gratitude within a relationship fosters a positive cycle of generosity and appreciation. It strengthens the bond between partners, making them feel more connected and satisfied with their relationship. But it's not just about saying thank you. It's about showing it. Surprise your partner with a gesture of love, no matter how small. A note, a spontaneous date night, or even taking over a chore they dislike speaks volumes. Taking each other for granted is like neglecting a plant, assuming it will thrive without water or sunlight. Eventually, it withers. To keep the love alive, nurture it with appreciation and gratitude. Remember, the magic lies in the mundane, and every day is an opportunity to celebrate being together. Chapter 3: Lack of Trust, the Invisible Wall Between Hearts. Trust is the invisible thread that binds hearts together. Without it, you're just two people sharing space, not lives. The absence of trust turns minor misunderstandings into mountains, creating an invisible wall that's hard to tear down. Imagine constantly doubting your partner's words or actions. It's like living in a constant state of alert, where every phone buzz could be a perceived threat. This isn't just stressful, it erodes the very foundation of your relationship. A study from the Journal of Marriage and Family reveals that trust levels predict the stability and satisfaction of the relationship over time. So, the question arises, how do you build trust? Firstly, it's about consistency. Small acts of reliability, like being on time or following through on promises, weave a strong fabric of trust over time. It's also about openness, sharing your thoughts and feelings honestly, even when it's uncomfortable. But here's the kicker: rebuilding trust, once broken, is a journey. It requires patience, forgiveness, and a commitment to change. A sincere apology is a good start, but actions speak louder than words. It's the consistent, trustworthy behavior over time that rebuilds trust. Moreover, trust is a two-way street. While you work on being trustworthy, you also need to work on being trusting. Give your partner the benefit of the doubt. This doesn't mean ignoring red flags, but rather not letting past hurts dictate your current relationship's narrative. Chapter 4: Jealousy, the green-eyed monster in disguise. Jealousy, often dubbed the green-eyed monster, can transform love into a battleground. It's a complex emotion, rooted in fear of losing someone, fear of not being enough, or fear of being replaced. While a hint of jealousy might feel flattering at first, signaling deep care, it quickly becomes toxic if left unchecked. The irony of jealousy is that it often arises from insecurity rather than any real threat. It makes you imagine scenarios that have never happened, turning your relationship into a detective story where you're always looking for clues. This constant suspicion can push your partner away, ironically creating the very situation you feared. But here's an interesting fact: jealousy is not just about love. Psychologists believe it's also about competition and self-esteem. It's a signal to ourselves that we might need to work on our confidence or address unresolved issues. Transforming jealousy into something positive requires introspection. Understand where it's coming from. Is it really about your partner, or is it about your own insecurities? Communication is key here. Express your feelings without blame, and work together to strengthen your bond. Additionally, focusing on your self-esteem can make a world of difference. Engage in activities that make you feel good about yourself, and remember, your value does not decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. Chapter 5: Financial Stress, Money Matters, Breaking Bonds. Money talks, but when it comes to relationships, it can sometimes scream. Financial stress is often cited as a leading cause of tension and breakup among couples. It's not just about the amount in the bank, it's about how you manage it together. Imagine this: one partner is a saver, meticulously planning for the future, while the other lives for the moment, spending without much thought for tomorrow. This clash of financial philosophies can create a rift as wide as any affair. A survey by SunTrust Bank identified finances as the leading cause of stress in relationships, underscoring the need for financial harmony. The key to navigating this minefield? Communication and compromise. Start by having an open discussion about your financial goals and fears. It's crucial to understand where each of you is coming from. Perhaps one partner's spendthrift ways are a reaction to childhood scarcity, or the saver's frugality stems from fear of future instability. Creating a budget together can be a bonding experience. It's a concrete plan that takes both partners' concerns into account, ensuring you're working towards common goals. Remember, it's not about restricting freedom but about securing your future together. Also, consider regular financial dates to review your budget, celebrate achievements, and adjust plans as needed. This ongoing dialogue keeps you both on the same page and turns financial management into a shared journey, not a battleground. Chapter 6: Constant Criticism, When Fault-Finding Becomes a Hobby. Criticism, when constructive, can help us grow. But when it becomes constant, it wears away the love and respect that are the bedrock of any relationship. Imagine hearing more about what you do wrong than what you do right. Over time, this barrage of negativity can make you feel unworthy, unloved, and ultimately, resentful. John Gottman, a renowned relationship researcher, identified constant criticism as one of the 4 horsemen predicting relationship failure. It's not the occasional complaint about dishes left in the sink, it's the persistent negativity that targets your partner's character rather than their actions. Here's a strategy: focus on the behavior, not the person. Instead of saying, "You're so lazy," try, "It would really help me if you could put your clothes in the hamper." This approach addresses the issue without attacking the person, opening the door for constructive conversation instead of defensiveness. Also, practice the art of appreciation. Make it a habit to acknowledge and express gratitude for the things your partner does right. This positive reinforcement not only boosts their self-esteem but also makes it easier to hear criticism when it's warranted. Chapter 7: Lack of Intimacy, the Growing Distance in the Bedroom. Intimacy is the glue that binds the pages of your relationship's story together. It's not just about physical closeness, it's about emotional connection, vulnerability, and a deep sense of belonging. When intimacy starts to wane, it's like a light dimming in the room, casting shadows of doubt and loneliness. A common misconception is that intimacy issues are purely physical, but they often stem from deeper emotional barriers. Stress, unresolved arguments, and a lack of communication can all build walls that make closeness feel miles away. Interestingly, a study in the Journal of Marital and Family Therapy suggests that emotional intimacy is a stronger predictor of sexual satisfaction than sexual frequency. This highlights the importance of connecting heart to heart, not just body to body. Rekindling intimacy begins with opening up, sharing vulnerabilities, and actively listening to your partner. It's about making time for each other, not just in your schedule but in your heart. Small gestures of affection, like holding hands or a spontaneous kiss, can reignite the spark that brought you together. Creating a ritual around intimacy can also help. Set aside a night each week as date night, where the focus is on connecting with each other. This doesn't always mean being physically intimate, it's about being present and engaged with each other, whether that's through conversation, shared hobbies, or simply cuddling on the couch. Chapter 8: Not Respecting Boundaries, the Invasion of Personal Space. Boundaries are the invisible lines that define where I end and you begin. In a relationship, respecting these boundaries is crucial for maintaining individuality and mutual respect. When these lines are crossed, it feels like an invasion of personal space, leading to resentment and conflict. Imagine constantly having your phone checked by your partner or being criticized for spending time with friends. These actions signal a lack of trust and respect, eroding the foundation of your relationship. A healthy boundary setting is a sign of a healthy relationship, where both partners feel safe and respected. Setting and respecting boundaries is not about building walls between you, it's about understanding and honoring each other's needs for privacy, autonomy, and self-expression. This includes everything from how you handle personal space to how you communicate and make decisions together. The first step in establishing healthy boundaries is open communication. Discuss your needs and expectations clearly and listen to your partner's perspective. It's about finding a balance that respects both partners' needs. Also, remember that boundaries can change, and what worked at the beginning of your relationship might need adjustment as you grow together. Regular check-ins about what's working and what isn't can help ensure that both partners feel valued and heard. By respecting each other's boundaries, you're not limiting your relationship, you're strengthening it. It's about giving each other the space to grow individually so you can come together even stronger. Chapter 9: Dishonesty, the Lies That Build Barriers. In the garden of love, honesty is the water that nourishes its growth. Dishonesty, on the other hand, acts like a drought, leaving behind a barren wasteland of trust. Whether it's little white lies or monumental deceits, dishonesty constructs an invisible barrier between partners, casting a long shadow over the relationship. Imagine finding out something significant about your partner's life through someone else, or catching them in a lie about where they've been. These moments shatter the trust you've built, leaving you to question what else might be hidden in the shadows. According to a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, trust not only affects how we see our partner but also how we see the world around us. When trust is broken, it distorts our perception, making us more cynical and guarded. The antidote to dishonesty is simple, yet profound: transparency. It's about sharing your thoughts, feelings, and actions openly, even when you fear judgment or conflict. This vulnerability fosters a deeper connection and builds a fortress of trust around your relationship. But what if the trust is already broken? Rebuilding it is a slow process that requires patience, consistency, and commitment. The person who broke the trust must be willing to be an open book, while the other must be willing to forgive, not forget, but to give their partner a chance to prove themselves again. Chapter 10: Forgetting to Celebrate Each Other, Missing Out on the Joy of Togetherness. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to forget to celebrate the person standing beside you. Birthdays, anniversaries, and even personal achievements often become just another day on the calendar. This oversight is akin to forgetting to water a plant, slowly draining the vibrancy from your relationship. Celebrating each other is not about grand gestures or expensive gifts, it's about acknowledging the significance of your partner in your life. It's the recognition that, in the vast tapestry of existence, you choose to weave your stories together. Studies have shown that celebrating your partner's achievements can boost their happiness and satisfaction in the relationship even more than supporting them through tough times. So, how do you keep the celebration alive? Start by marking those special dates on your calendar as non-negotiables. But don't stop there. Celebrate the little things too, the promotion at work, mastering a new recipe, or even overcoming a fear. These moments, big and small, are the chapters in your shared story. Creating traditions around these celebrations can add a layer of anticipation and joy. Whether it's a quiet dinner at home for minor achievements or an adventure for major milestones, these rituals become the highlights of your shared life.